Okay. Tomorrow's quiz is going to have two terms with a product. One of the products going to involve one of the four new trig derivatives within a quotient rule. Right? So product rule within quotient rule with the tangent, secant, cosecant, or cotangent. Right? So that's what you've got. So I'm going to be looking for precision as well. So it'll be named y equals. So I'm going to be looking for when you take the derivative, you're going to call it y prime. And if you have to bring everything along for the ride. There's things I'm noticing. People are leaving things off to the side. And if you decide to, I'll talk about it later, but if you decide not to derive this, you need to tell me and bring it along and tell me you're not going to derive it. And I'll show it just to make sure you can see what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. So we're going to take, the way we do it, we're going to take derivative of the first, leave the second, plus leave the first, derivative of the second, just to expand that. So I'm going to do the derivative of the first term, and we'll see how it goes, and then we'll talk about it. So I'm going to do the derivative of the first. So you're at your co, so you got negative cosecant squared x, and then derive the first, leave the second. So I'm going to leave that 2x squared plus 1 over tangent of x. Then I'm going to add to that, leaving the first one alone, and then deriving the second. The second is a quotient. So I need to do the derivative of the numerator, which is going to be 4x, multiplied by the denominator, tangent of x. And then all over, minus, sorry. And then we're going to have, leave the numerator, what do I have? I have 2x squared plus 1 times the derivative of the denominator, secant squared x, all over the denominator squared. Okay, so now, for me, let's just pretend this were my piece of paper. I'm kind of running out of room, or maybe I didn't start quite as far on the left as I need. So let's just not take the derivative of this yet, right? Because it'll expand into a couple of terms. So let's not do that. So the way you do that is you say, plus, I'm still going to take the derivative of the following statement. All right? So if you didn't write this d dx right here, and you brought the secant x cosecant x, it wouldn't be right because you told me all of that was the derivative. Right? So that will be the derivative once you've taken that extra part. Now, let's go ahead and see if I've got another pen that works. So then, let's go on. Let's see if we can push over a little bit further to the left. And I will tell you, there's a lot we're not going to do here. We're not going to combine. We're not going to clear out a lot of our trig functions, because you and I know that that's really, sine over cosine down there. We could flip that. That will cancel. That will have a sine cubed in the bottom. We're not going to do that for today, right? We're just going to get the derivative for the purpose of the quiz. So we're going to streamline all we've really got to do is clean that up. So, or finish that. So I'm going to try and squeeze it in. So I've got negative cosecant squared x. Actually, here's another way of it. Here, I'm going to teach you one more thing. Instead, all right, let's just say that's how you would write it. If you want to keep it on another line, okay, so let's get rid of that. So you could do, the way we write another line, you remember this from the limit, is you do plus, dot, dot, dot. Then you come down to the next line, dot, dot, dot. So you indent it like a paragraph, and then bring it in, plus, now let's do the derivative of that. So now we've got it in one. So I will, when I grade it, I'll say, all right, it's still the same statement. I'll come down and read the next line. Okay, so now, derivative of the first. So we've got secant of x. So secant x, tangent x. Derivative of the first, leave the second alone. Cosecant x, plus, leave the first one alone, secant x. Derivative of the second, so that would be negative cosecant cotangent. And that's pretty much done. I mean, what could we have here? We have 1 over cosine, sine over cosine, 1 over sine, so that would cancel, and then you'd have a cosine squared there. I'm just gonna leave it. Just leave it. That's fine with me. Just get the first line of the derivative done, and we'll work on our trig stuff later. Okay.